Namaskar, this is Tabassum Maranjo, welcoming you to the Samavesh podcast. This podcast aims at the Samavesh or inclusion of all beneficiaries across all stratas of society, irrespective of their caste, creed, color, religion, age, gender, and even the differently able, towards leading a more gainful and dignified life. Towards this end, it becomes necessary to capture the true essence and scope of efforts required for the upliftment of our fellow countrymen and women, and we at Samavesh strive to do this by showcasing to our audiences NGOs, philanthropic organizations, charitable trusts, and projects at ground level in a way that shows tangible impact. Collective effort can drive meaningful change. So let us all join to build a more inclusive India together. The NGO on our podcast today is the Baby Care Foundation, TBCF. This was formed in Mumbai in 2017 by Shri Prasenjit Das, who hails from a remote village in Assam, and Shri Sujit Neman, who was born and brought up in Savantwadi, Maharashtra. Their philanthropic inclinations and rural backgrounds led to the formation of the Baby Care Foundation. As of the census of 2024, the population of India is over 1.44 billion, making it one of the most populous countries in the world. Every day, 67,000 plus babies are born in the country, and every minute, one of these newborns die. Timely intervention for the treatment of birth defects and premature births can save precious lives and prevent neonatal deaths. TBCF plays a vital role in this area. They have tie-ups with private hospitals across the country who refer infants and babies from low-income families for the treatment of cancer, congenital heart defects, and premature births to TBCF for fund support. We have on the podcast today Mr. Sujit Ghose, Director of TBCF, who is associated with TBCF since 2020. He hails from the industrial city of Rourkela in Odisha and has forayed into the philanthropic world after 26 years in the corporate world. Welcome, Sujit, and thank you for joining us on the Samavesh podcast.
Thank you for having us on Samavesh podcast. And it's a real pleasure to be associated with your podcast also.
Okay. So tell us, Sujit, what is the main motivation in the creation of TBCF?
As you mentioned, our two trustees, with their background, they have, during their childhood, they have missed out on a lot of facilities which is available in cities or in big towns. These things were always coming into the mind, let it be healthcare, let it be education. So when they shifted out to big city like Mumbai, looking for their own opportunities, so there was a time when they thought, no, let's get into this philanthropic area and start working. So they formed this organization in 2017, and they were about to start off with the implementation of the healthcare and the education, but unfortunately, this we were all affected by this pandemic. So that slowed down our. We got stuck for another 2 years. So 2020, we started this organization started in full capacity, foraying into the healthcare, the education, and some other projects. Slowly, we started developing. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us more how it was having your childhood days in Rourkela, and what was your schooling, college days like, and what led to your foray into the philanthropic world, and finally your association with TBCF.
Absolutely. Now, the childhood was very, I mean, happy, and I'm one of the lucky person to be born and brought up in this industrial town of Rourkela. Uh, since childhood, I've seen mix of traditions and cultures because uh, people from all over India were working in this public sector unit of SAIL. It's a steel plant area. My neighbor was a Marathi, my next neighbor was a Malayali. So my friend circle in my schooling days were from all over India. So let it be food, let it be culture, let it be tradition. So I got into this since my childhood. Education till graduation, I was in Rourkela. So now, how this philanthropic thing and the social work thing came into mind? We have all heard like charity begins at home. My father was born in a very rural area, and till 1960s, the village didn't have electricity. So we used to hear from him the struggles, what he did, and how he got educated, with a lot of struggles and everything. My mother, of course, she was a 10 plus 2 pass out, but again we used to hear from her like females, old times, not much of a facility, getting married very early and all this thing. So these things were always striking me why this happens as a child. But once I got into my corporate world, I had a chance to move around maximum of India work related. Sorry, work related. So, and my most of the work related were in the rural parts of India. So also these things what I used to hear from my parents or uncles, I used to relate. So something was striking me always. So around 26 years in the corporate world, I got a chance to fulfill my passion for this thing, social work and philanthropy. Luckily, I met these two trustees and our wavelengths matched and we got associated.
Okay.
So it's a way forward now.
As a director, what are your responsibilities in TBCF?
Uh, Here, mostly I'm looking into the fundraising, the implementation of projects. Uh, Now we have divided our work within our trustees. So Prasenjit is mostly looking into the finances, managing the finance and everything, and Sujit Niman is looking into the and admins and day to day operations. My mostly work is overseeing the projects getting implemented, speaking to the hospitals, getting in touch with the CSR companies, trying to bring in as much fund as possible, and also the individual fundraising what we have, I also oversee that.
Do you have outreach camps?
Uh, we used to, but as of now, this year we are trying to change some plans in going for other modes. I mean, so
And what is the capacity of TBCF? How many people are employed here and how many volunteers are there?
on roll we have 16 people, including the accounts and the back office, uh, and a small team of fundraisers. Volunteers we have got 120 plus, spread around all India.
Across India?
Yeah.
So you offer your services across India?
Yes.
Okay. And you are into the field of education and empowerment also.
Yes.
But the prime focus is on healthcare of infants and babies, like
Absolutely.
the name indicates. So what are the type of projects you undertake in this area?
Yeah, our main and core focus is on the healthcare of newborn babies and children up to 14 years. Uh, we have heard of many children get born with some heart defects, which needs urgent surgeries. Small babies get affected by cancer, and preterm born babies, where immediately the babies have to be shifted to NICUs, which is a very costly affair. So we are basically focusing on these three kind of cases in the healthcare this thing, and education, of course. Uh, that is the ongoing projects which we
On the side,
yeah.
yes, you do that along for the well-being of
Yes.
the children.
And as far as the infants are concerned, again, looking into their needs, like it's a unique thing what we have started in Mumbai. We are setting up the baby feeding units. So, in public places where the mothers are carrying infants, they have to wait for, uh, having a checkup at a hospital. There's a long queue, so baby is hungry. So, due to the lack of privacy, the baby goes on is not unable to, mother is unable to feed the baby. So we are trying to provide a small unit where a mother can carry the child inside and feed the baby in a privacy.
In privacy.
Yeah.
And this critical illnesses that you've spoken about, which is cancer, congenital heart defects, and premature birth, aren't these services offered free at government hospitals?
Absolutely, it is provided free. But looking into the number of government hospitals available compared to the population what we have here, the waiting time for critical surgeries and cancer treatment is little bit on a higher side. Now, the cases what we have attended to, we have seen mostly the parents get desperated because of the long waiting period. Now, as a parent, the child needs to have a urgent medical attention. Even though they are aware that they don't have a good financial background, they do go to a private hospital. So once they enter a private hospital, so there is a process where the hospitals refer these cases to us for their treatment support.
The hospitals would be having a social works department who would be doing the compliances, KYC of the patients before referring them to the NGO. What due diligence do you do from your side once they are referred to you?
Once the cases are referred to us from a hospital or the MSW department, so we have a small team, a projects team who are dedicatedly looking after these medical cases. So we have our home visits to those patients' houses. We speak to them, we counsel them. We try to find out the genuinity of the need. There has been some cases where we have spoken to them and counseled them, where a part payment can be afforded by the parents. Let's say 20-30% of it. So that's well good enough. So rest of the thing we take care of.
So the rest of the funding you arrange for.
So we do a due diligence on the need base. How much the patient needs. I mean, what is the financial background? There has been, I'll share one of the cases what we had. So this case was referred when we did a home visit. We found a big, let's say a flat TV or LCD TV and a high-end bike. It didn't look like they were in so much of need. So we had to turn down that case. So these things we have to do our due diligence and find out. Documentation part, of course, the hospital take
does.
care of.
Okay. So you visit the beneficiaries' houses
Yes.
and assess for yourself whether they're eligible for the financial support or not.
Yes.
Okay. And on that basis only you do fundraising for them. Okay. Now the different types of treatments that you're referring to, cancer, congenital heart defects, and premature born babies. The types of treatments are different. They span over a different period of time. Like cancer can extend to a year and above.
Yes.
Congenital heart defect requires immediate surgery and one-time cost of a surgery to rectify the defect. And premature is a baby which is extremely low weight and has to be kept in NICU, which may extend up to 2 months.
Yes.
So funding will be different for these three treatments, or is it the same type of funding that you're looking for?
No, it's a bit different. Say, let's say the CSD cases where this one time and our window is of 25 to 30 days before the surgery. Once we get a case, so we have, as I mentioned, we have volunteers and a small team, so that we take up on a very priority basis because the fundraising window time frame is very less.
Yes.
So once we get that, and we make sure the payments are done before, a part payment is done before the surgery, and post surgery the baby or the infant is there in the hospital for 2, 3, 4 more days. So before discharge, we clear off the dues. This is one part. Second is the cancer. As you said, this gets prolonged for 1 year, 1.5 years. So based on that, when we speak to the donors, the individual donors, we put in the case to them. So the doctors always mention how many chemos are to be done, how many rays has to be given. So based on that, we try to pay on a part-to-part basis. Suppose in 20 days there is one chemo. Next cycle chemo is after 30 days. So before that, we make a part payment. So it is on ease of the donor also, and it's an ease of us also. So we are able to fulfill the total budget what we have committed to the hospital. So and CS and preterm babies, of course, when we get to the case, the baby is already admitted. Uh, it takes 2 to 3 days to take up the case and start. So normally, what we have spoken to the hospital where we have a tie-up, so we make 2 installments or 3 installments. Initial, when we take up the case, within 10 days we pay part because the medications and everything is very costly. After a month, we pay a major part of that or major share of that amount committed. And before discharge, the hospital informs us at least 48 hours before the discharge. So by the time we clear all the dues, and that's way how we plan our finances with the hospital.
We are talking now to Dr. Sanjay Ahire from Neo Care Hospital in Nashik. Sir, you are the founder of this hospital.
Yes, ma'am. I am the founder of this hospital.
And how old is this hospital? How
This
many
hospital
years?
is 14 years old. We
14.
started Neo Care Hospital in 2010.
2010. And so it's a very specialized care because this hospital is specializing in the treatment of premature birth
Yes.
babies. So what are the type of challenges that a premature birth baby would have apart from being underweight? Of course there would be other challenges, and the main treatment would be for
Mainly, basically, they are born premature, so their weight is low. So they need special care because their temperature will not be maintained. If we keep them in general ward or with the mother, those babies will get hypothermic. So to maintain their temperature, we need special warmers or incubators. So that is the first thing, temperature management. Second, because these babies' lungs are not developed, so they have respiratory problems. So they cannot breathe. So we might have to give them ventilatory support. A drug called as surfactant, which is quite costly. So we have to put that drug into the baby's lungs. And main challenge is nutrition, because the baby is growing properly in the mother's womb, but as soon as the baby comes out, he doesn't get all the nutrition just from the milk, and baby will not take all the milk from day one. So we have to give them parental nutrition. Through that, through the IV saline, we give everything to them. Next challenge in these babies, because their immunity is very poor, so they develop infection, sepsis. Then they have jaundice, risk of jaundice, because if bilirubin is going high, it can reach baby's brain and it can damage the brain permanently. Then various sugars are not maintained, so they can have hypoglycemia. That means their sugar goes below normal, so that babies can have convulsions. Later on, they can be handicapped. So all these things we have to monitor. Then while treating these babies, we have to see growth of other organs also, whether their kidneys are working properly, their heart is working properly. As they grow, whether their eyes are doing well. So we have to check for the retinopathy of prematurity. That is one of the complication of this type of babies. So we have to screen them on appropriate time and do the treatment. So all treatments are available now. In smaller cities like Nasik also we get all the treatment.
So what was your basic motivation for getting into this area of healthcare?
See, basically I did my post-graduation from KEM, Mumbai, and I saw during 98 to 2000, even 1 kilogram babies were not surviving there. So I went to countries like Australia, Canada and UK. There I saw that babies as small as 400 or 400 gram are also going home. So that motivated me that why not take all this knowledge and wisdom from here to our country and serve our people and increase the survival of this baby, and especially not in bigger cities like Bombay or Pune, but in cities like Nasik and North Maharashtra. So you will be surprised, in last 8 years, around 100 babies who are less than 1 kg have survived and went home. This was not possible without this type of intensive care.
Intensive care.
Yeah.
And so what is the ideal weight for baby?
So normally in Indian population we take 2.5 kg as a normal. That is the lower normal. But majority of these babies are below 1500 gram or even below 1 kg. We get babies as small as 490 gram. So our record of survival is 490 gram. Recently that baby went home, and I am very happy to say that Baby Care Foundation was very helpful. We are very uh, express our gratitude to Baby Care Foundation that they helped this poor family, because it was impossible for them to afford such treatment.
490 grams is the record for this
Yes,
hospital.
490 gram is the smallest baby to survive in North Maharashtra, not
North
only in
Maharashtra.
Nasik.
Would be a record in India or only in
See, in Southeast Asia, the smallest baby to survive is 375 grams.
375
370, and
That's
that
a world
was-
record, I think.
That is for Southeast Asia, but in
South-
Japan, I think it is below 300 also.
Oh, okay. So for Maharashtra, this is the
This is the smallest baby to
smallest
survive.
baby. And in India, sir, would you know what would be the record in India?
375, I said. That is from
370.
Hyderabad.
From Hyderabad.
Yeah,
So you are still to break that record.
Let's see, we are trying our best, because it all depends on at which gestation this baby is born. If baby is born at 22, 23 weeks, it is hard to save this baby, because their brain is not developed, their organs are
And
not
the
developed.
other organs also are not developed. So you're doing a great job, and it's a very specialized and challenging field.
Yes, it
And
is.
you're doing a great job, and in a city like Nasik, I'm sure the people around would be very grateful to you for starting this facility here, and we
Yeah.
wish you all success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us. आपका नाम
महेंद्र बाड़वाई,
और ये आपकी वाइफ है?
ये मेरी तरफ
अच्छा, आपका क्या प्रीमेच्योर बेबी हुआ है?
27 वीक में हुआ है
27 वीक में पैदा हुआ है।
जी।
और कितने टाइम से हॉस्पिटल में है?
यहाँ पे हम 1.5 महीने से हैं,
1.5 महीने से है।
13 जून से
13 जून से यहाँ पे है।
जी।
और ये आपका पहला बच्चा है?
हम
अगर आप क्या काम करते हैं?
मैं डेली बेसिस पे जैसा मिल जाए उस हिसाब से काम करता हूँ।
और आप क्या करते हैं?
मैं घर पे
घर पे रहते हैं।
हाँ।
और घर में और कौन कौन है?
मेरे माता पिता और एक छोटा भाई।
अच्छा, माता पिता कुछ करते हैं?
नहीं, वो घर पे ही रहते, बूढ़े हैं, तो छोटा भाई थोड़ा बहुत काम मिलता है तो वो करता है।
हाँ, वो क्या काम करते हैं?
वो भी ऐसे मेरे जैसा
अच्छा,
daily।
डेली बेसिस पे जो काम मिलता है वो
जी।
करते हैं। और बच्चे का क्या वजन था जब पैदा
पैदा
हुआ?
हुआ तब 765 ग्राम का था,
765 ग्राम का था। और अभी
अभी 1100 ग्राम का है।
1100 ग्राम का है। 1 किलो
1 किलो 1
हाँ 1.1 में। और अभी कितना टाइम लगेगा? हॉस्पिटल ने क्या बोला है आपको?
हॉस्पिटल में लगभग वो उसका वेट 2 kg तक होना चाहिए, उस हिसाब
ऐसे
से
बोला है। तो जब तक 2 kg नहीं होता है बच्चा
तब तक
यहीं
यही
पे
रहेगा।
तो आप 100 किलोमीटर दूर से आते हैं।
हाँ
तो
जी।
बेबी यहाँ 1.5 महीने से है, तो कैसे मैनेज करते हैं?
हमारे रिश्तेदार है, उनसे थोड़ा बहुत उधर रह के, कोई घर से आके ऐसा कुछ मैनेज करके।
बेबी यहीं पे रहता है तो आप रिश्तेदार के घर में रहते हैं
जी।
और हॉस्पिटल में आते जाते
जी।
रहते हैं। और आपको हॉस्पिटल से कैसा सपोर्ट मिला है?
हॉस्पिटल से तो बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट कर
बहुत
रहे हैं
अच्छा
सब
सपोर्ट
से।
मिला है।
जी।
और बच्चे की अच्छे से देख रेख
अच्छा,
होती
हो,
है? आपको जो भी मदद चाहिए होती है?
जी
मिलती है?
बिल्कुल होती है।
अच्छा, ठीक है। आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम प्रियंका सुनील देवरे,
आप कहाँ रहते हैं?
मालेगांव में।
आपका लड़का है या लड़की है?
लड़की है दोनों।
अच्छा, जुड़वा है।
जी।
और खुश हैं आप?
जी, खुश हूँ।
लड़कियों से। बेबी का वेट कितना था जब पैदा हुए?
जब एक का 800 ग्राम था और एक का 1 kg था।
1 kg था।
जी।
और यहाँ कितने टाइम से हैं इस हॉस्पिटल में?
1 महीना हो गया।
1 महीना हुआ।
जी।
और वज़न बढ़ा है बच्चों का?
जी, बड़ा है।
कितना हो गया अभी?
एक बेबी का हो गया 1 kg हो गया, और दूसरे बेबी का 1 kg 400
400
ग्राम
ग्राम
है।
हो
जी।
गए। और 1 महीने से हैं यहाँ
जी,
पे।
1 महीने से।
हॉस्पिटल का कैसा सपोर्ट रहा है?
अभी तक तो ठीक है मैम।
अभी तक ठीक
जी।
है? अच्छा सपोर्ट मिला है आपको?
जी।
ये हॉस्पिटल के बारे में आपको कैसे पता चला?
जहाँ मेरी डिलीवरी हुई उन मैम ने बताया था।
अच्छा, डिलीवरी मालेगांव में हुई है यहाँ हुई?
नहीं, नासिक में हुई।
नासिक में
जी।
हुई। तो आप अभी 1 महीने से बच्चे यहाँ हैं, तो आप मालेगांव से यहाँ पे कुछ अरेंजमेंट किया है आपने?
नहीं, मैं भाई के साथ रह रही
भाई
हूँ।
के साथ
जी।
रह रहे हैं। और मतलब हॉस्पिटल का सपोर्ट अभी तक अच्छा रहा है?
अच्छा रहा है।
बेबीज को रोज़ विजिट करते हैं, सब कुछ ठीक है?
हाँ, ठीक है, अभी तो ठीक है।
और आपके हस्बैंड क्या करते हैं?
कंपनी में है।
कंपनी में काम
जी,
करते हैं।
जी।
और आप?
मैं हाउस वाइफ हूँ।
हाउस वाइफ
जी।
हैं। घर में कौन कौन है?
सास ससुर है।
सास ससुर हैं।
जी।
वो कुछ करते हैं?
नहीं।
घर में ही हैं?
जी, मजदूरी करते हैं।
मजदूरी करते हैं?
जी।
अच्छा, क्या उम्र है?
उनकी सास की 50 होगी और ससुर की
इसमें मजदूरी
60
करते हैं इस उम्र में?
जी।
ओके।
खेती बाड़ी नहीं है हमारी तो मजदूरी करते हैं।
और हस्बैंड वैसे कंपनी में काम करते हैं, क्या काम करते हैं?
वर्कर हैं।
वर्कर
जी।
हैं, ओके। और दुआ करते हैं आपके बच्चे जल्दी वज़न बढ़ जाए और आप
जी।
उन्हें घर लेकर जाएं।
जी।
बच्चे पैदा होने के बाद में आपने हाथ में लिया है?
नहीं अभी तो इतना नहीं लिया
अभी
मैंने,
तक
नहीं।
अभी हाथ में भी नहीं
जी।
लिया है। ठीक है, जब 2 किलो हो जाएंगे तो हाथ में ले
जी।
लेंगे। चल हम दुआ करते हैं कि जल्दी बच्चे वज़न बढ़ जाए और आप उन्हें घर लेकर जाएं।
जी।
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
आपका नाम?
अक्षय येवलेकर।
अच्छा, आप ये न्यू केयर हॉस्पिटल नासिक से कब से एसोसिएटेड हैं?
मेरे पिछले 1.5 साल से यहाँ पे एसोसिएट हूँ।
अच्छा, आप यहाँ पे क्या काम करते हैं?
मैं
आपका रोल क्या है?
यहाँ पे मैं एज अ MSW वर्क करता हूँ। जो प्री मैच्योर बेबीज़ रहते हैं उनके लिए MSW का मैं वर्क करता हूँ यहाँ पे।
अच्छा, तो आपका क्या क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ है इस रोल में?
यहाँ पे बेबीज़ जो आते हैं प्री मैच्योर स्पेशली उनको जो पुअर बेबीज़ रहते हैं जिनके पेरेंट्स पुअर रहते हैं उनको फंडिंग का बहुत इशू होता है। तो उनको फंडिंग्स प्रोवाइड करना, जैसे फाउंडेशंस रहते हैं बेबी केयर फाउंडेशंस, लाइक वहाँ से उनको हेल्प देना,
NGOs के साथ?
NGOs के टाइप करना, उनसे बेबीज़ को फंडिंग आना, और ये सब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ मेरी रहती है। जैसे कि उनका इनकम वगैरह सब वेरीफाई करना, पेरेंट्स का एक्चुअली पुअर है या है, उनको फंडिंग्स कैसे प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं हम, ये पूरा वर्क देखना पड़ता है।
ओके।
या
और इनकम का आपका क्या क्राइटेरिया है हेल्प फंडिंग सपोर्ट के लिए?
या जैसे कि यूजुअली जो बहुत से लोग हमारे यहाँ पे आते हैं, फार्मर्स जो ट्रीट करते हैं, जो बहुत से मतलब विलेजेस से बिलोंग्स करते हैं, वो फाइनेंशियली अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि बहुत सारे फार्मर्स रहते हैं। सो उनका यूजुअली क्राइटेरिया रहता है, जो पुअर फार्मर रहते हैं उनको 1.5 लाख से 2 लाख का जो इनका एवरेज इनकम है वो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एवरेज कॉस्टिंग बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है।
1.5 लाख से 1 लाख से 1.5 लाख क्या एनुअल?
एनुअल इनकम।
एनुअल
या
इनकम।
क्योंकि यहाँ पे बहुत से फार्मर्स है जो बिलो एवरेज कमाते हैं, सो उनको ये फंडिंग्स अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते।
और
सो
प्री मैच्योर बेबी का ट्रीटमेंट का कॉस्ट
हाँ, ऑलमोस्ट 8 to 10 लाख रुपीज़ तक
8
जाता
to
है।
10 lakhs होता है पर चाइल्ड?
पर चाइल्ड, इफ़ बेबी प्री मैच्योर 6 मंथली और 7 मंथली।
तो आप NGOs में आप द बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन के साथ में टाई अप है,
यस।
तो आप उनको ऐसे बेबीज़ का ट्रीटमेंट के लिए रेफ़र करते हो फंडिंग सपोर्ट के लिए?
यस।
तो उनके पास से आपको टाइमली सपोर्ट मिलता है?
जी, टाइमली सपोर्ट मिलता है, और वो जो बेबीज़ के लिए फंडिंग्स करते हैं वो एट द टाइम ऑफ डिस्चार्ज हमें वो प्रोवाइड करते हैं।
Provide कर देते हैं?
या प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं।
और कितने बेबीज़ आप एट एन एवरेज उन्हें रेफ़र करते हो महीने में?
या अभी जैसे कि क्योंकि प्री मैच्योर बेबीज़ का एवरेज रहता है कि महीने में 4 से 5 बेबी हमारे पास आते हैं, और उनमें से अभी बहुत सारे बेबी जो रहते हैं वो बिलो एवरेज नहीं रहते, मतलब जैसे पेरेंट्स की कंडीशन होती है फाइनेंशियली, उसके ऊपर हम डिपेंड करते हैं। वैसे मंथली हम 102 बेबी जो रहते हैं उनको हम रेफ़र करते हैं बेबी केयर के लिए।
1 से 2 बेबीज़ रेफ़र
Yes,
करते हो बेबी
yes,
केयर फाउंडेशन
yes.
में? और उनकी ट्रीटमेंट कितनी लंबी चलती है प्री मैच्योर बेबीज़ की?
या ऑलमोस्ट जैसे रहते हैं जिनका वज़न जो होता है 600 ग्राम और 700 ग्राम होता है, उनको अभी कम से कम 1.5 से 2 किलो के लिए होने के लिए कम से कम 2.5 से 3 मंथ लगते हैं।
2.5 से 3 महीना लगता है। तो बच्चा यहाँ 2.5 से 3 महीना एवरेज रह सकता है।
यस।
और पर डे का इसका ट्रीटमेंट का कॉस्ट कितना होता है एट एन एवरेज?
एट एन एवरेज जब बेबी एनरोल होता है यहाँ पे ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, शुरू में कुछ 15 दिन के लिए उसका कॉस्ट थोड़ा हायर रहता है, उसके बाद बेबी सेटल होने के बाद वो कॉस्ट रेगुलर हो जाता है।
तो कितना कॉस्ट रहता है एवरेज?
एट एन एवरेज 12 से 15 हज़ार पहले 15 दिन का रहता है, उसके बाद फिर धीरे धीरे कम हो जाता है जैसे बेबी का इम्प्रूवमेंट होता है।
12 से 15 हज़ार पर दिन का?
पर दिन का
रहता
रहता
है,
है।
पर दिन का
Yes,
बोल रहे हो?
yes,
ओके,
yes.
ठीक है। और बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन से आपको पूरा सपोर्ट मिलता है?
पूरा
टाइमली
support मिलता
पेमेंट डिस्चार्ज के टाइम पे आपका हो जाता है?
यस। बिलो डिस्चार्ज से 1-2 दिन पहले हम उनको इन्फॉर्म कर देते हैं, वो वेरीफाई कर लेते हैं कि क्या क्या डिटेल्स है, क्या बेबी का कंडीशंस कैसा है। डिस्चार्ज कंफर्म होने के बाद वो 1 दिन पहले हमें पेमेंट प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं।
पेमेंट प्रोवाइड कर देते
Yeah.
हैं। ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Welcome.
So for CSR funding from corporates, what type of funding would you look at for all these 3 types of treatments?
For CSR, we had a plan. I mean, we are trying to approach this financial year with the corporates to fund our cancer cases. So, we have, as of now, we have got 5 cancer cases with us, for example. So, total budget for these 5 cancer cases would be around 30-35 lakhs. On average, I'm talking about 5 to 7 lakhs per case. So, if I'm able to convince a corporate to fund for these 5 children, or let's say we have 2 cases right now, but we do have an inflow of cases. So for 1 year, if I'm able to get a fund of 35 lakhs, for example, to sponsor 5 to 6 children. So with that fund, we are easily able to fulfill the treatment cost for these 5 children. So we are on a ease. Again, we can concentrate more on CSDs and preterm babies, whatever we are collecting. So that was ease. I mean, cancers are very costly actually comparatively.
Because it's a
Yeah.
longer period
Yeah.
of time also. And
So we are looking for CSR funds. We had approached, but as of now, we have not succeeded in getting. Let's hope this financial year we start.
and in cancer, you are looking at bone marrow transplant also.
Yes, it is upcoming thing, and many hospitals have started getting those facilities. 2 our hospitals we have tie up, one in Bangalore and one in Pune. They are doing it in a very affordable cost, but the cost comes up to 12 lakhs minimum.
Per transplant.
Yes. So no, it covers the transplant part and the post this thing.
Post and pre.
Yes. So for a 1 year, it is around 12 lakhs. So even if we get a CSR funding for that, that would help like anything.
One sponsorship could
Yes.
help.
Yes.
मैडम आपका नाम,
मेरा नाम उज्ज्वला शेखर भोईर।
आप कहाँ रहते हैं?
हम अंबरनाथ में रहते हैं।
अच्छा, ये बच्ची आपकी है?
हाँ, मेरी बच्ची है।
इसका कैंसर का ट्रीटमेंट हुआ है?
ट्रीटमेंट हुआ।
कौन सा कैंसर हुआ था इसको?
उसको ब्लड कैंसर BALL।
अच्छा, इसकी उम्र कितनी है?
इसकी उम्र अभी 6 साल है।
और आपको कब पता चला कि इसे कैंसर है?
उसको 11 फरवरी 2023 में मालूम गिर गया।
तो उसी टाइम में ट्रीटमेंट शुरू हुआ?
हाँ,
या
उसी टाइम पे
उसी टाइम में ट्रीटमेंट
तुरंत
शुरू हुआ?
ट्रीटमेंट शुरू कर दिया हमने।
कौन से हॉस्पिटल में ट्रीटमेंट हुई है?
थाना में माला हॉस्पिटल में।
अच्छा, वहाँ पे आप कितना टाइम हो गया ट्रीटमेंट को?
अभी 11 फरवरी 2023 को शुरू हुआ था, अब तक चालू है। मतलब
यानी लगभग 1.5 साल।
1.5 साल हो गया।
1.5 साल हो गया। और आपको माला हॉस्पिटल के बारे में कैसे पता चला?
हम पहले इसको रॉयल हॉस्पिटल में लेके गए, वो लोग ने उधर का एड्रेस दिया कि इसका बोन मैरो करके देखते हम क्या आता है। तभी बोन मैरो में आया कि उसको ब्लड कैंसर है।
और आपको बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन के बारे में कैसे पता चला?
बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन के बारे में मेरा भाई है ना, उसने मतलब इनका एड्रेस, उसको एड्रेस मिला इनका, फिर उसने कांटेक्ट किया इन लोगों के साथ।
इनको कांटेक्ट हॉस्पिटल के थ्रू नहीं कांटेक्ट?
नहीं, हॉस्पिटल के थ्रू नहीं, मेरे भाई ने कांटेक्ट किया।
अच्छा, और उसको पता हुआ तो उसने कांटेक्ट किया, फिर आपने इनको कांटेक्ट किया?
हाँ।
तो किस तरह से मदद की इन्होंने आपकी?
इन्होंने मतलब मेरे को फ़ोन किया पहले कि आपके बच्ची का मतलब ऐसा ऐसा हमें मालूम गिर गया है, तो बोले कि हम आपकी मदद करना चाहते हैं। तो बोला ठीक है। उन्होंने हमारा इंटरव्यू लिया पहले, फिर पैसा मतलब वो भेजते हैं।
क्या हर महीना देते हैं या कैसे
हाँ,
देते
ऐसे
हैं?
मतलब 2 महीने में ऐसे थोड़ा थोड़ा करके ऐसे।
थोड़ा थोड़ा करके देते हैं। तो अभी तक कितना उन्होंने आपको हेल्प किया है?
1,20,000 तक उनकी
1,20,000
मदद आई है।
और ट्रीटमेंट के ऊपर कितना खर्चा हो गया है?
अभी तक 19 लाख तक खर्चा हुआ है उसका।
और हॉस्पिटल के थ्रू कुछ
नहीं, हॉस्पिटल के थ्रू कुछ
कोई
भी
डिस्काउंट
नहीं।
नहीं, जो भी हेल्प मिली है बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन
बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन और बाहर से मदद मिली।
आपके फैमिली फ्रेंड्स
हाँ,
के थ्रू मदद हुई है।
मदद हुई है।
और आपके हस्बैंड क्या करते हैं?
मेरे हस्बैंड रिक्शा चलाते हैं।
रिक्शा चलाते हैं। और अभी ट्रीटमेंट कितना चलेगा? हॉस्पिटल क्या कह रहे हैं?
अभी तक सर बोल रहे हैं 2.5 साल तक उसका कीमो के जो गोली और इंजेक्शन है ना, वो 2.5 साल तक, उसके बाद उसका फॉलोअप रहेगा 2.5 साल। मतलब
टोटल 5
साल के लिए
5 साल का ट्रीटमेंट
है। हाँ।
और बच्ची में इम्प्रूवमेंट है? अभी इसकी रिपोर्ट्स वगैरह जो आती
अच्छा
है
आते
तो
हैं।
शरीर में खून अच्छी तरह से
हाँ, बढ़ रहा है अभी।
और इसका बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट किया है?
नहीं, बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट नहीं,
खाली कीमो के
इंजेक्शन से।
और अभी स्कूल जाती है?
नहीं, अभी भेजते नहीं हम, सर ने बोला है जाने को, लेकिन अभी बारिश के टाइम में सर्दी बुखार का रहता है ना, तो
बारिश
नहीं
में नहीं भेजते हैं
हाँ।
क्योंकि इम्यूनिटी कम है।
कम
नहीं तो
है।
वैसे जाती है स्कूल में?
नहीं, अभी तक नहीं गई, लेकिन उसके बाद में भेजूंगी।
कैंसर डिटेक्ट हुआ उसके बाद स्कूल
नहीं
में
भेजा। हाँ।
उसके पहले स्कूल जाती है?
पहले जाती थी।
अच्छा, अभी 1-1.5 साल से
नहीं गई
जा
स्कूल
रही है
में,
स्कूल
हाँ।
में। अभी कब भेजेंगे इसको?
हाँ,
अभी तो
अभी
तबीयत ठीक हो रहा
हाँ,
है।
तबीयत-
बारिश के बाद शुरू करेंगे इसको।
शुरू करूँगी।
कौन सी क्लास में?
अभी फर्स्ट में।
फर्स्ट में। ओके। अभी बेटा अच्छा लगता है आपको? पहले से अच्छा लगता है? स्कूल जाना चाहते हो? हाँ, स्कूल जाना चाहते हो? ठीक है। थैंक यू।
Yes. Thank
And how many children would you have treated for cancer, congenital heart defects, and premature since the inception?
Yeah, see, as I mentioned, we started fully operating since 2020, specifically December. Till date, we have done around help around 42 cancer cases, which include 6 BMT cases.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Preterm, it is 32 cases successfully done, and CSD around 27, to be
And
specific.
what is the success ratio? I mean, of the
Mm,
treatments? How many survivors?
Mortality of this total number of cases, we had 5 mortalities as of now. 2 are from cancer and 3 are from preterm. Preterm, again, these 3 preterm mortality was the twins were born. So one twin was very, very weak. So it was quite helpless from the part of the medical fraternity also. So total 5 mortality we have seen.
5 out of a total of?
Total will be around 105 cases.
105. Okay. So say 5%.
Yeah.
Approximately. Okay. And what is the ratio of girl child versus male child?
As of now, what cases, what 105 cases, 65% are being the girl children and 45 was the male children.
Okay, so more cases are referred for the girl child.
Yes.
And why is that so, do you think?
We have actually spoken to the hospitals regarding this because they are the first hand when they get the cases. They have mentioned their the old traditional values about a girl child. Mm, people are a bit reluctant to spend money on a
On
girl
the
child.
treatment of a girl.
So, whereas if it is a boy, they would gather or collect money from relatives and other friend circle. But in these cases, they don't go anywhere. They come helpless. They say we don't have money. So this is what a feedback we got from the hospitals. So this thing has to be changed, but it's changing. But these are maximum cases from the rural areas.
And if they did not receive funding, probably they would just let it be untreated.
Absolutely,
I think,
yes.
and let the girl go.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then what type of support would you be looking? What type of visibility would you be able to give to your corporate donors, and what type of reports would you be able to give them if they sponsor these treatments?
First thing is that we will always put a visibility and we will always put in a paragraph in our website mentioning the support with the names. And we have a social media small team who does post many things in our social media handles. So there will be visibility for the corporates in those things. In print, of course, the annual reports we mentioned. And if in 1 or 2 cases it has been highlighted in the press also. So very critical cases handled by the
press
doctors.
releases.
Yes. So with the hospitals, it has come out in the press, very critical cases and treated in a very affordable way. In those cases also, we can put in, if it's sponsored by a CSR fund, we can also put in a name for the donors. And logos, of course, with the permission, we can also put our logo in our as a
In the annual report
Yes.
and the website.
Yes.
And thank you sort of
Absolutely.
note from the parents or
Absolutely.
from the NGO, whichever way. And all these treatments need to be done timely.
Yes.
And if the funds are not collected within the specified time limits, then the treatment cannot be done. So
Absolutely.
has there been instances where funds have not been raised on time and the child has gone untreated?
No, there has been cases where couple of cases where we haven't been able to raise the committed amount. But fortunately, we have a corpus fund with us where we use it in this case of exigencies. So by God's grace, we haven't missed our commitment to the hospital as of yet.
So the corpus comes from the trust funds?
No, when we do a fundraising, for example, right now we have got 16 live cases with us. So our team is raising for various children. Somehow or other, 1 or 2 cases, we don't get the particular inflow what we expect sometimes. And in many cases, of course, in many cases, we come to know that excess funds has been collected. So that we shift to a corpus fund, and we keep it with us for some time. And when we have to make a payment for a case where the money has not been raised in that particular this, so we shift that money. And also we make sure that these informations are also shared with the donors.
Donors. That is important
Yes,
because they
yes.
need to know how their funds are being
Yes,
utilized.
yes.
So you keep them informed, and you also keep them informed about the updates about the child's health
Yes,
and
yes.
which other case has been sponsored by
Yes.
them.
How the money was utilized in one case and two cases.
आपका नाम?
बिंदिया
बिंदिया। आप कहाँ से हैं?
राजस्थान से
राजस्थान से। आपके कितने बच्चे हैं?
4 बच्चे
और ये बच्चे को क्या हुआ था?
गिर गया था डबल चाल पे से
कहाँ से?
डबल चोल पे से
डबल चौल पे से। और कितना साल का है?
11.5 साल का
11.5 साल का। और गिरने के बाद क्या हुआ?
गिरने के बाद में कोमा में चला गया था
कोमा में चला गया और फिर आपने उसको दवाखाने में एडमिट किया
दवाखाने में एडमिट किया था क्रिटिक केयर हॉस्पिटल में
और फिर बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन के बारे में आपको कैसे पता चला?
मुकेश भैया ने बताया था
मुकेश भाई कौन है?
वो मेरे आदमी को मिला था तो उसने हेल्प के लिए बोला था
वो दवाखाने के हैं कोई?
नहीं दवाखाने की नहीं है लेकिन उन्होंने हेल्प किया था बताया था
तो
हमको।
मुकेश भाई को जानते कैसे हैं? मतलब कहाँ मिले आपके हस्बैंड?
वो रिक्शे में मिला था तो उन्होंने मेरे
अच्छा।
हस्बैंड ने बोला था तो उन्होंने हेल्प किया
हेल्प किया, उन्होंने बताया बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन के बारे में।
हाँ
फिर आपने इन्होंने कांटेक्ट किया,
हाँ
तो इन्होंने कैसे मदद की आपको?
इन्होंने हमारी मदद की अब इन्होंने पैसे वैसे दे के हमारी मदद की
पैसे दिए? कितने पैसे दिए?
1 लाख रुपये दिए
1 लाख रुपया दिया। और बच्चे का खर्चा कितना आया?
बच्चे का खर्चा 10 लाख
10 लाख खर्चा आया। ओह, कितने दिन दवाखाने में था?
1 महीने 7-8 दिन तक था
1 महीना 7-8 दिन। तो अभी चल फिर पा रहा है?
हाँ अभी थोड़ा चल फिर भी रहा है बोल भी रहा है लेकिन अभी बराबर दिमाग नहीं कमज़ोर दिमाग है उसका
तो कोमा में से बाहर कितना दिन हुआ है?
कोमा में बाहर 20 दिन बाद में आ गया था कोमा के बाहर लेकिन वो इतनी स्थिति नहीं थी उनका बिल्कुल ख़त्म मतलब शरीर था उनका फिर धीरे 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 करके अभी बेटर है अभी तो
अभी थोड़ा चल फिर रहा है, बातचीत कर रहा है,
हाँ
खाता पीता है बराबर से?
हाँ खाना भी खाने लग गया अभी
अच्छा, ठीक है। और बेबी केयर फाउंडेशन की मदद से आपको काफ़ी मदद हुई है?
हाँ
आपके हस्बैंड क्या काम करते हैं?
रिक्शा चलाते हैं
और आप?
मैं घर संभालती
आप
हूँ
घर संभालते हो, आप काम नहीं करते हो?
नहीं
अच्छा, ठीक है। अभी बच्चा अभी भी ट्रीटमेंट चालू है या हो गई?
हाँ 12 महीने के लिए बोला डॉक्टर ने अभी सर्जरी बाकी है हड्डी निकाल के रखा सिर का तो हड्डी डालना बाकी है
तो 1 साल तक ट्रीटमेंट चलेगा?
हाँ 1 साल से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है
तो स्कूल में जाने के लिए डॉक्टर हाँ बोल रहे हैं कि अभी स्कूल में
अभी स्कूल के लिए कुछ नहीं बोला
कुछ नहीं बोला? पहले स्कूल जाता था?
अभी 10 दिन पहले चलने लगा अभी अच्छे से चल भी नहीं पाता तो स्कूल में इतना भेज भी नहीं पाएंगे
पहले स्कूल जाता था?
हाँ पहले स्कूल में जाता था
तो स्कूल को आपने बता रखा है कि
हाँ
बच्चे
बताया स्कूल को
वही स्कूल में फिर दाखिला करेंगे उसका
हाँ,
जब
उधर ही
ठीक हो
भेजेंगे।
जाएगा तो?
हाँ उधर भी
कौन सी कक्षा में?
6वीं में था अभी 7वीं में भेज दिया इसको
बच्चे का ख्याल रखिए और भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जल्दी अच्छा हो जाए। As for the baby feeding centers, I think every woman with their infants have a right to have breastfeed them in privacy.
Yes.
Breastfeeding is very healthy for both for the mother and for the toddler. It helps to build a high immunity for the child to grow as a healthy adult,
Yes.
and also creates a strong bond between the mother and the child.
Absolutely.
So this is a unique initiative of TBCF to build baby feeding centers at public places. So how many baby feeding centers to date have you installed?
We have set up 9 baby feeding units in BMC hospitals. One we had set up in Nasik railway station.
And what about other public places like bus depots and other transit places?
We have that in pipeline, but again, internally within our trustee and the management team, we are in a discussion. We are trying to make a foolproof plan because these places are highly exposed. These places are highly crowded 24/7, railway stations and bus depots. So, a mother going inside with the infant to feed the baby, there has to be a proper security See, my unit can have a security door and everything, but again, the mother would get scared if there's a huge crowd nearby that unit. So once we make draw up a foolproof plan, we can go and we will go and talk to the authorities. We can make a survey of that particular area. We'll find out where the authorities, or if there is a policeman watching that area. So a secured place. If the authorities allow us, with those things, with those permissions, we can go to a corporate and get in the funding.
You have to keep the safety and
Yes,
privacy of the
absolutely,
women
yes.
also in mind. And why only BMC hospitals up to now?
Yes, BMC hospitals. Our team was doing a survey for some time. We saw these BMC hospitals, especially the mother and child hospitals. Footfall is extremely high, and once or twice in a week there is a vaccination day also. So 100, 150. When there is a footfall of 100, 150, everybody carrying a small infant. Uh, Below 1 year, again, let's say on an average 50 to 60% of the footfall is below 1 year infant. So waiting time through 2 hours, 3 hours, at least. So the baby surely will gets hungry. Our team had observed that a lot of crying was going on. What happened? The baby is hungry. Mother is helpless. Now she cannot go back to her house, feed, and come back because she might have come from a long distance. So we thought, let's start with the hospitals first. So, 2 years we have been doing this, and the response is huge. VMC officials of that hospital are very happy with that. That is a ease of mind for them also. The crying has stopped. Babies are laughing, smiling. Mothers are very happy. At least they are able to feed. There's an internal satisfaction also they get. My baby is not hungry. And it's an absolutely hit thing. And BMC is also very interested to set up these units in maximum of the hospitals. So as of now, we have finished 9. 5 more are in pipeline, waiting for the approval from the CSR client. Once it is done, we'll set it up.
And what is the average cost of setting up these
It
units?
costs around 1.5 lakhs to 1.75 lakhs, depends on the location.
Okay. And inside the BMC hospitals, it is safety and security of the women is taken care of because it is
Yes.
basically within the premises.
Yes.
And it is closed after hospital hours.
Absolutely.
Nobody is using it, and there is no scope for misuse of
Absolutely. And 90% of the crowd are mother and
the
child.
mother and
Yes.
child. So it is ladies and children only
Yes.
in that division. And the caretakers are also basically female, most of them.
Absolutely.
So there's no danger to the safety and security of
Yes.
the women. And you said 5 are in the pipeline. I'm
Yes.
sure there are. This initiative is only in Mumbai, or is it in Maharashtra or across the country?
This year we are focusing on Mumbai only. Slowly, like as I mentioned, of the public places like bus stops and railway stations, we have to be in a same table with the authorities also. We have to convince them how, because it's all government property and government land. So once we are through with that, we are taking some time in that. So I think next financial year we start taking in other places.
So once the unit is installed, you hand it over to the authorities
Yes.
for their. It is their responsibility to maintain it as well as to ensure the
Yes.
upkeep and safety and security
Yes.
of the ladies who are using.
Yes, in addition to what you have mentioned, like in bus stops and railway stations, again, in our plan also includes the maintenance and the hygiene of that unit that the authorities have to take over. So if they are able to maintain and keep it clean, so then there is no issue. And one or two cases where initially when we started, it was quite raw. When we spoke to them just like that, okay, we want to put up, they said, oh, kaun saaf rakhega? We don't have manpower. So these things we are putting in a very specific points where we can convince them this can happen through you and through us also. So we can go ahead next year.
Okay, you can go ahead next year. And what about upkeep and maintenance is all right, but also they would have to, after this installation of these units, do they have facilities inside like chair for sitting or a fan, lights, those sort of facilities also provided?
Yes, absolutely. So we provide two sofas. So at a time, two mothers can feed their
Feed them
babies.
simultaneously.
There is a light there. One pedestal fan is installed there for the comforts, and we also keep some soft toys for the distraction of the babies. There is a dustbin if the mother wants to change the diaper with a garbage bag inside. So we have taken care of that.
You've taken-
And hospital, we make the 3 months audit of those units as of till today. So whenever we go, we uninformed, of course. So we find it clean always.
So you
And,
check for cleanliness and you
yes,
check
and the maintenance.
and the maintenance.
If there is a major breakage in any of these equipments, so we do it from our side. So
That is,
yeah,
the furniture requires any repairs or
the fan has
and-
broken down, so we do it.
Yeah, of course. The electricity and all is the responsibility of the authority.
Authorities, yes.
And what challenges would you be facing if you want to do it in transit spots like bus depots and railway stations?
Major is the maintenance and the hygiene
Yes.
inside the unit. Second part is the unit should be secured. I mean, from the external disturbance or nothing should go wrong.
It is open 24/7.
Yes,
So
and we are talking about safety of a woman. So that is the major priority what we are looking into. How can we resolve that particular challenge? And second is the upkeep.
and are the accounts of TBCF independently audited?
Yes, it's audited by independent chartered accountant.
And you are providing fund utilization certificates?
Absolutely. For the
to
CSR
donors?
funds, yes. For the CSR funds, we have to provide. It is mandatory. And for the individual donors, the big donors, they ask for us for that particular this thing. We do provide with supportings. And the audited balance sheets are also submitted to the Charity Commissioner of Thane. We come under them. So it is all transparent in that.
It is all
Yeah.
transparent
And our audited balance sheets are also uploaded for the public in our website.
on the website.
Yeah.
मैडम आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम डॉक्टर अक्षता नारायण पाटिल है। मैं मालवनी वन में एज अ AMO काम करती हूँ।
ओके, आप ये पब्लिक हेल्थ सेंटर के इंचार्ज हैं?
हाँ, मैं मालवनी प्राइमरी मतलब मराठी में उसका आरोग्य केंद्र बोलते हैं, शहरी आरोग्य केंद्र, वहाँ पे मैं सहायक वैद्यकीय अधिकारी के रूप में काम करती हूँ। तो मेरा डिपार्टमेंट है वो पब्लिक हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट को देखते हैं।
पब्लिक हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट में आप ओवरऑल चार्ज हैं। क्या क्या सर्विसेज देते हैं आप यहाँ पे?
हमारे अंडर पब्लिक हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट में हम लोग प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन और चाइल्ड वैक्सीनेशन देते हैं। सेकेंड, हम जो ओल्ड एज है, बेड रिडन पेशेंट है, उनका घर पे जाके ब्लड टेस्ट और उनका अर्ली डिटेक्शन ऑफ डायबिटीज़, हाइपरटेंशन, ये सारी चीज़ें हमारे अंडर जो आशा CHV है वो लोग करते हैं। हाउस टू हाउस सर्वे करते हैं और हम लोग EC कपल देखते हैं और बच्चों के न्यूट्रिशन के बारे में उनको ज्ञान देते हैं। उसके अलावा हमारे यहाँ पे जैसे अभी मानसून चालू हुआ है, तो मानसून में वेक्टर बॉर्न डिसीज़ होते हैं, तो उनका हम प्रिवेंशन और कंट्रोल देखते हैं। वाटर बॉर्न डिसीज़ का वो सब प्रिवेंशन और कंट्रोल हमारे अंडर आता है।
और ये बेबी फीडिंग सेंटर यहाँ बनाने से कुछ मदर्स को कुछ सहायता हुई है?
बेबी फीडिंग सेंटर बनाने से हमारे हेल्पर्स को बहुत मतलब बेनिफिट हुआ है। हमारे यहाँ पे डेली OPD रहता है, तो वहाँ पे जैसे मदर आती है तो वो बच्चे को बाहर फीड नहीं कर सकते, तो वो यहाँ पे आके फीड करते हैं बच्चे को। और सैटरडे को हमारे यहाँ पे सेंटर कैंप रहता है, तो वहाँ पे अप्रोक्सीमेटली 40 to 60 मदर्स अपने बच्चे को लेके आती है। तो उस दिन बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिट होता है क्योंकि बहुत सारे बच्चे मतलब तब भूख लगती है, तो यहाँ पे वो लोग आके फीडिंग करने के लिए उनको हेल्प हो जाता है,
प्राइवेसी में?
प्राइवेसी मिलती
और
है।
वैसे एक दिन में कितना यूज़ होता होगा ये सेंटर?
सैटरडे को हमारे पास अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10 to 20 मदर्स यहाँ पे फीडिंग करती है। बाकी दिन पे जनरल OPD रहता है, तो 5 to 6 मदर्स एवरीडे आती है यहाँ पे फीडिंग करने के लिए।
और आपको किसी ने ऐसे मदर्स ने बोला है कि इससे उनको बहुत सहायता हुई है?
यस, इससे उनको बहुत सहायता मिली है क्योंकि यहाँ पे वो आराम से बैठ के प्राइवेसी में फीडिंग कर सकती है, जो उनको बाहर नहीं कर सकते,
एम्बैरेसमेंट होती है।
एम्बैरेसमेंट लगता है।
और ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग के क्या क्या फ़ायदे हैं?
ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग से तो फर्स्ट जो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट फ़ायदा ये है कि बच्चे को न्यूट्रिशन मिलता है, बच्चे की इम्यूनिटी बढ़ती है, और मदर का मोस्ट ऑफ द बेनिफिट ये है कि जो मतलब जन्म देने के बाद पोस्टमार्टम जो पीरियड रहता है,
बॉन्डिंग जो होती है,
हाँ, पोस्टमार्टम पीरियड में जो उनका अगर ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग करने से उनका जो डिप्रेशन रिस्क है वो लो हो जाता है और मदर और चाइल्ड का बॉन्डिंग भी स्ट्रांग होता है।
स्ट्रांग हो जाता है। थैंक यू मैडम, आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं।
थैंक यू।
मैम, योर नेम?
My name is Zeba Atif Khan.
Zeba Khan. You come to this hospital often?
Often, yes.
Okay. Since how old is your baby?
The baby is 6 months old now.
It's a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
And you come here for the vaccination?
Yes, I've come here for the vaccination.
Do you use the baby feeding unit?
Yes, I do.
How often? Every time you come here?
Every time I come here, I use the baby feeding.
When you have a waiting time,
Yes,
you
yes,
use
yes.
the unit.
Yes, I
And how has it helped, ma'am? Before the unit was not there, there was
Earlier,
no...
when the unit was not there, it was. I used to face a lot of issues because, anyways, where there are women, there are men also here. Fathers are also coming with the baby, so it was like I used to feel a bit shy to, literally open up my breast and feed my baby. Now that there is a baby feeding room, a
In
unit
privacy,
there,
yes.
in privacy, the room is like quite good with the
Fan
with
and-
all the facilities, the fan, the toys and everything. The child also has been very comfortable, especially the mothers, because they are literally feeding, so they need some privacy. So that's the best thing that is being done here, that there's a baby feeding room created here. So it has really been beneficial for, I guess, for me and for everybody out here, because the babies are really small, they're all been feeded, and earlier it was like a mess for us to sit, and the baby used to cry and we were helpless.
Yeah, I could-
if there are
baby was
males
hungry
right in
and
front
crying
of us,
and you could not
obviously
do
it was just like me personally, I used to make my baby cry. I used to prefer that okay, fine.
Rather
if
than
men
face
were
the
standing,
embarrassment,
yeah,
exactly.
rather than facing the embarrassment, I used to feel, all right, sit and cry. But now, since there is this the earlier I remembered when the first time I sat there and I feed him, I was like, thank you very much. This is the best thing done here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. So, Sujit, thank you very much for joining us today. You and your team are doing an excellent work for healthy adults for our country in the future. And may you be blessed always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
For all our viewers who are still with us, a very big thank you for being with us till the end. Those of you who wish to support TBCF, the details are in the description of the video. For those NGOs and philanthropic organizations who wish to be showcased on our podcast, the details are in the description. See you again soon, next time. Till then, stay blessed, stay safe, and goodbye.